could not be here right from the beginning, but I'm still happy that I'm getting a chance to interact with all of you and convey the greetings of Telangana government to all of you. We all understand very, very clearly the importance of packaging to promote so many other industry verticals, and many of the industry verticals which have created benchmarks for the world, which also have strong roots and presence in Hyderabad. They have relied on packaging enormously, as Raja Babu Garu was pointing out. Pharmaceutical industry is one such industry, but there are so many others which also have benefited a lot from the key support which the packaging industry has given. And therefore, to have events like this, the CII Packcon, which, as Mr. Chakravarthi pointed out, has been happening for the last 3 years, it is very important that we gather together, we listen to industry experts, we take stock of where new trends are. I'm happy that one dedicated session is being devoted to sustainability, circular economy, recycling, etc. Because if at all there are any red flags about this industry, it is in this area. And if, as an industry, if we understand that these are challenges which are not insurmountable, we have solutions, we have good examples, we have technologies. Lots of startup work is happening in this area. And when I was looking at the schedule, I noticed that some of the speakers who are going to address or interact with all of you actually are representing very successful startups who are working in this realm of recycling, circular economy, etc. So there's a lot to kind of focus on. I'm also very happy to see that the size of the packaging industry in Telangana itself is growing enormously. In fact, I remember more than 10 years ago, 12 years ago, when in the combined state, when I joined as MD APIIC, and then also took responsibility for Commissioner of Industries. Of course, the industry was present at that time also, but it was, I would imagine, just about 1/3 of the size what it has achieved today. So enormous growth has happened. And one other thing which is very appreciable about this industry in Telangana is, I comment about it and I give this example on various other forums also. The readiness to accept and incorporate latest state-of-the-art machinery and technology in your activities. Even an MSME, which is in the packaging domain, I visited some of them, and I'm very impressed by the fact that they are using latest machinery, sometimes imported machinery also, and they are absolutely up to date in terms of usage of technology. Because this is something which I have commented about MSMEs in general in Telangana, that if at all something is disheartening about them, is that they are very reluctant to move to new generations of technology. In fact, some months ago, we brought out our MSME policy, and we had engaged some team of experts to actually visit some of the MSME parks, understand their problems, and then give us the inputs on what should go in that policy. And I remember in one of the internal briefing sessions, one of those people who have gone for field visits, they came back and told me that the industrial park where they visited, they found that companies were still using 19th century technology. So, I mean, the machines, the technology they were using were so way behind in time, generations behind in time, so to say. But obviously the same is not true of the packaging industry. Lots of modernization, lots of upgrading has happened here. And of course, the large firms continue to do that. I've actually been fortunate to go for inauguration ceremonies of a few large packaging companies also. And again, I've seen some of the best and the latest machines to feel really proud about. So as I said, all this growth in the industry is happening at a very opportune time, when all the other industries who are your clients, and as soon as this inaugural session gets over, there's a CEO's roundtable conclave also, in which potentially all the user industries, including pharma, including food processing, including so many other industries also, who are your customers, who are your clients, they will speak about their experiences. And I'm very sure that there'll be unanimity in acknowledging and recognizing the valuable contribution which Hyderabad-based or Telangana-based, let us say, packaging industry has provided to them. As was mentioned, this is an area where lots of advancement in knowledge is happening, and we should be conscious about it. I'm happy that we are also using this forum, this 2 days conference, to discuss about machinery, packaging machinery also. While I was walking in, I did notice some stalls also. Companies like Signode and others have put up booths there. And I'm sure we should study what is the latest available and how does it compare with the best in the world. On behalf of the government, there are 3-4 things which I would like to share with you. One is that in the current government, as many of you would have known, we have made a commitment that the development of industries or industrial growth will happen in a decentralized manner. Not everything will be concentrated in and around Hyderabad. Our Honorable Chief Minister has given us a very good framework to understand. I'll briefly tell you what that framework is. The framework is that all of you would know that we have a beautiful road called the Outer Ring Road. So everything which is within the Outer Ring Road is urban Telangana. The government is about to commence the construction of one more ring road, which is called Regional Ring Road. Outer Ring Road, as most of you would know, is roughly about 25 to 30 kilometers from the central district, central city. This Regional Ring Road will be another 30 to 40 kilometers away, so about 50 to 60 kilometers from the core of the city. This will again be an orbital road. So the geography, the region between ORR and RRR, as it is called, will be called semi-urban Telangana. And then anything beyond that, till the boundary of the state, will be rural Telangana. So in the first instance, of course, inside the Outer Ring Road, as we all understand, urbanization has happened at a very rapid pace, and there is not much scope left to do manufacturing focused industrial development. Of course, we continue to do IT, biotech, BFSI, services, etc. That focus will remain, but most of the industrial activities will now move in this belt between the ORR and the RRR. And we have been tasked to identify new parks, new industrial parks. We are working on it. In fact, a few days ago, on the 8th to be precise, Honorable Minister announced in a function to mark 1 year anniversary of the current government that we will be setting up 10 industrial parks meant for MSMEs. Some of these parks potentially can become parks for large industries also. But as of now, we have been able to successfully identify 10 locations where we have lands between about, let us say, 300 acres to 2,000 acres, where MSME parks will come up. And we are also on the lookout for some big parks which will replicate, let us say, a Cherlapalli or a GD Metla, something like that. But the key point which I wanted to share with you was, you would have seen in Telangana, particularly in the last 10 years, that most of the industrial parks which have come up, as I said, in the last 10 years, focus on a particular vertical. So, for example, there are food processing park, there is life sciences park, there are aerospace and defense parks, there is electronics manufacturing park, there is textile parks, there is a plastic park, there is a composites park. So each park has a particular vertical. But we understand that packaging as an industry services different verticals. So we will be, when we prepare the master plan of each of these new industrial parks, we will ensure that reasonably sufficient number of plots are also available in each of these parks. They may focus on a particular vertical, but we will ensure that the packaging industry is co-located with the other vertical players. So let us say we are setting up a pharma village. Now, the pharma village, the plots will largely go to pharma companies, but because packaging is a very important ancillary, we'll ensure that some plots are earmarked only for the packaging industry. Similarly, for other food processing park and other parks also. So this is an integration that we will do. The other important thing to share with you is about skills. See, today I myself mentioned 2-3 times in my speech that there's lots of advancement of knowledge which is happening. Of course, we have a brilliant institution in Hyderabad, the Indian Institute of Packaging, and I'm sure they are involved in their partners in this event, and I'm sure they are taking sessions and telling you about the courses, etc., which are happening. But I have also been to IIP in the past. What I notice is that, of course, that level of high level of knowledge is definitely required, but you also require basic shop floor kind of skills, people who are able to run your industry at a shop floor level. So I'm happy to share with you that Young India Skills University has come into a reality. 4 months ago, in August, the Young India Skills University started its first course, and we have identified 18 verticals where courses will be taught. And one of the verticals in that Young India Skills University is also related to packaging. So I would invite large companies and even association of companies here to partner with Young India Skills University. YISU has a very unique model. You would be familiar with so many other skilling institutions, skilling programs, etc. But there is something very different about Young India Skills University. And the most important difference is that no course will be run by Young India Skills University unless there is an industry partner for that course. So even though there are thousands of jobs available in a particular domain in Telangana, in the country, even overseas, YISU will not run a course unless there is an industry partner to support that course. And when I say that the industry partner will support the course, there are a few expectations of that industry partner. One is that the industry partner has to design the curriculum of that course. Second is the industry, let us say a curriculum is designed for a certificate program. Let us say it spans 100 hours of teaching. So the industry partner also has to take responsibility to deliver at least 80 hours of that 100 hours by its own employees. Your manager, your supervisor, your technologist, they should come and teach. 80% of the teaching will be by industry experts, not by some professor or someone who only has some bookish knowledge or theoretical knowledge. Then the third important thing is that most of the teaching will be practice based. We want to encourage this blackboard based teaching or chalk and talk method, as it is called. Everything, at least majority, 2/3 of it will be practice based. So whichever company takes responsibility of running a course has to create a practice based teaching methodology. If you have a factory nearby where all the students can go and practice, you have to open your doors for that. If you don't have anything nearby which is convenient for the students to go, then you have to set up a lab in the campus of the college, where campus of the university, where students can learn through practice. And of course, once the curriculum is completed, the course is completed, you will play a role in conducting an exam, awarding of degrees, etc., or certificates. And then it is expected that as many candidates as you can take as permanent employees of your company, you will take them, and the rest will go to the open market, where other companies will be willing to take them, because the training has been given by the industry itself, and you precisely know what skills are required in your on your shop floor. So this is as I said, this is a very novel way of looking at skilling. Hundreds of skilling institutions have existed in the country, but still people complain that they don't get adequately skilled people. And this is where we realized that the missing piece is that unless industry takes responsibility for skilling, they will keep complaining and nothing will come of it. And of course, the responsibility of the government is also there. We provide all the infrastructure, classrooms, all the computers, lab, and of course we mobilize the students, so the companies don't have to worry where are the students going to come from. So we take care of all these things, and you are expected to design the curriculum and deliver that curriculum. So this is the second point which I wanted to tell you. The third point, which Chakravarthi garu already mentioned, and possibly when Honorable Minister interacts with all of you, either today or tomorrow, he will also mention it. But I'm also reiterating this fact that there are lots of digital innovations which are happening, which are disrupting the whole world today. And I'm very, very confident there is lots of opportunity to introduce more and more digital innovation in the kind of industry that you run, in the kind of packaging products that you use, even for recycling, for sustainability, etc. Lots of digital innovation is possible. And over the last 10 years or so, Hyderabad has become a very important source for promoting innovation, digital innovation, tech-based innovation, building entrepreneurs from that pool of innovators. So please collaborate with government institutions. Of course, I know that institutions like IIP, CPET, they must be, yeah, CFTRI, also uh, institutions, higher education institutions which teach metallurgy, materials, all of them must be encouraging their students also in that direction. But if you collaborate with government institutions like a T Hub or T Works or V Hub, we can run tailor-made programs for you. If you tell us what your problem statements are, we can run those kind of grand challenges, we can run those kind of hackathons and identify the most appropriate solution provider from across the country. When I say that these institutions will run program, it does not mean that these programs will be confined only to entrepreneurs or startups or innovators within Telangana. Our programs are countrywide. They span the entire country. Sometimes international participants also participate. So please make use of this opportunity. As an industry, either individually or collectively, please run these kind of corporate innovation programs through the conduit that we are offering. So these are some of the thoughts which I wanted to tell you. And recycling again is something which is prime most importance for us. Some of you might have heard about it. I have spoken about it in the recent past on other forums also. But our government is very committed to set its own net zero target. Many of you will be aware that Honorable Prime Minister has given a target of 2070 for the whole country to become net zero. And as Prime Minister, obviously he has the national picture with him, so he can do the calculations, and with that national understanding, he has given the deadline of 2070. But it does not mean that the whole country together will become net zero at 2070. Different states, different cities will keep becoming net zero, and the last state or city or region will become net zero by 2070. So we are very confident that in Telangana, we can achieve it faster. In Hyderabad, we can achieve it even faster than the rest of the state. And packaging industry has an important contribution. Some of the carbon emissions, the carbon load which comes through this industry also. But there are ways of remediating it, turning it around. Some of these things can be done very quickly, some in the medium range, some in the long range, but definitely it has to be done. There is no getting away from it. So how do we start preparing ourselves right from day one? How do we assist the small players, the mid-scale players to do things equally fast and equally economically in a viable way as a large company would do? So these are some of the issues which as government and industry we need to discuss, and in a collaborative way we need to take all those decisions, etc. So once again, I'm very happy that CIE is organizing Packcon 4th edition, and so many representatives have come. I convey my good wishes to all of you, and thank everyone for inviting me for this event. Thank you.